In this video, we're going to be comparing custom boats like this Tarpon Bay 19 to production boats like my Hughes 18 Redfisher. We're going to be putting these two manufacturing styles head to head to see which one offers the most value for you.
Today we're heading out on this custom Tarpon to see how it handles offshore in comparison to my Hughes Redfisher.
Alright guys, we just loaded the live well down with pilchards. We're actually heading out for lobster today. End of season is tomorrow.
While this really isn't what this boat was designed for, we really wanted to push the limits of this boat to see how it handles in rough seas. Fans of the channel know that we take our Hughes 18 Redfisher offshore all of the time, and I think that on nicer days, both flats and bay boats should be seaworthy enough to make it to the patch reefs for some fishing and diving. But that's probably not why you clicked on this video, so let's talk about the main differences between custom and production boats. Custom boat manufacturers are built to order, where production boats are usually built on a production line, with only minor custom options available. Custom manufacturers are usually smaller companies that cater to a few dozen clients per year rather than hundreds. Because of this, if you order a boat new from a custom manufacturer, you're going to get a much more personalized experience, and you'll have a lot more say in the build process of your boat. When buying a new production boat, you usually order directly from a dealer rather than from the manufacturer. Custom boats tend to have better fit and finish than production line models, and some models like this Tarpon take advantage of unique hull designs that optimize the hull's performance. Production boat models are usually tried and true, with hulls that have stood the test of time and have made a name for their manufacturer. Most people associate custom manufacturers with higher price tags, but you might be surprised that by avoiding a dealer and buying directly from the manufacturer, prices are surprisingly comparable. On the other hand, if you're looking for a used boat, odds are that there are a lot more production boats on the market rather than custom boats. Most of the benefit of buying from a custom manufacturer comes during the build and purchase phase. Having a boat with a good brand name can help with resale value, in comparison to custom manufacturers who many buyers may not be familiar with. But that's enough generalizations. Let's see how this custom Tarpon handles a day offshore, then head to the beach to take a closer look at these two models side by side. So like I was saying before, lobster season closes in 2 days, so we're on the look for a couple of lobster, trying to get a couple of fresh ones before the season ends. Usually this time of year there's not a lot of pressure, and we actually find that there's quite a few larger lobster around. In this case, I'm checking one of the first spots, and you can see there's a nice lobster here in the back of this little coral head. I'm able to tickle him out of the spot, and with this lobster snare, essentially what you're trying to do is wrap that snare around the tail of the lobster, then cinch it down to bring him to you. Here I couldn't quite get it around him, and he's able to get back inside that hole. I'm trying to sneak around behind him to tickle him back out. And you can see right here I'm trying to be able to get that snare open. I get it around the tail, cinch it down, and bring him in. This was a pretty nice lobster, and we're only in about 8 feet of water, so it's always nice this time of year to find these bigger lobster in these shallower waters.
That was good. Any more?
Really good.
Here we're on this pretty nice reef, and my dad sees a pretty good lobster, so I take a dive to try to get a better shot of what he's seeing. Essentially what he does is he gets that snare around him while he's still in that hole, and he's able to cinch that tail down, and then basically just bring that lobster to you, get your hand on it, and then you can measure the lobster. Now we slowly made our way offshore towards those deeper reefs, and we came across crystal clear blue water from that Gulf Stream. In this spot we're in about 25 feet of water. These ledges are known for holding some nicer lobster, especially later in the year, and I'm basically just following my dad around as he checks these holes. While I'm at the surface, I see him wrestling with a lobster, so I kind of zoom in and try to get a view of what he's doing, and really it's this really nice lobster, probably close to 2 pounds, and for South Florida, this is a really nice bug.
We are by far the smallest boat out here today. Blowing good 10 to 15 miles an hour. It's rough, and for the most part we're staying dry. It's a flats boat at the end of the day. This is really pushing the limits of what you should be doing in a boat like this.
After After we finished off our limit of lobster, we decided to head back home, grab the Hughes, and head over to the beach so that we could look at both of the boats side by side.
Let's go ahead and do a walkthrough of this Tarpon Bay 19. Starting at the bow, we have a Minn Kota Ulterra, which is a self-deployed trolling motor, 24-volt system. This trolling motor is sitting on a power pucks mount. Basically, that means that when you slide this trolling motor onto the mount, it automatically plugs itself in. Next, we have the anchor hatch. This is something very convenient. We also have the life jackets in here right now, and both AGM batteries that power this trolling motor. This aqua traction decking is super convenient when you're getting down on your knee to pick something up out of a hatch. Super nice, really soft on the feet. Next, we have the main hatch. Something cool they did here is that one of the latches is a locking latch and the other one isn't. This boat is equipped with a 65 quart Yeti, which I think is a great size. In the center console here, we have great access to all of our connections by picking this up. Next, with the center console, we have a pretty unique design here. You can see that it's built around this 16-inch Garmin. You have plenty of room to look at sonar, maps, whatever you want to see. This is the right screen for it. Under each of the gunnels, we have enough room for about 3 rods on each side. Gunnels are plenty wide enough to walk along. Super nice with this T-top. You have a place to grab on when you're walking around the gunnels. One of the things that I miss on this boat that I have on my Hughes is quick access into the center console for some easy to grab dry storage. There is, however, much easier access under this main bench seat. We have here a couple of drawers and tackle drawers. Something unique about the backrest on this boat is that it's easily removable. So if you ever had to get underneath the hatch or just wanted to remove the backrest, you can easily do so. Another thing I like about this backrest is that it has integrated rod holders into the back. It's a great use of the space, and it's something I'm thinking about putting on my Hughes if I ever need to redo that backrest. Coming back, I don't know how they did it, but the amount of storage we have in this boat is just probably twice as much as the Hughes. Same thing goes for the middle hatch, which is our live well. We're looking at a Mercury 175 Pro. I'm very impressed with this motor. I've always been a Yamaha fan, but this 175 just flies, and it's actually really quiet as well. Of course, we have the motor on a jack plate, which is convenient. We're in these shallow waters. This jack plate here is actually a standard option on this boat. You're not paying for an upgrade there, and that's basically because of the way the back of the boat is designed. I don't really have a splash well here, but I'm not missing it. We have easy access into the bilge in this hatch, which can be completely removed, so you don't have to worry about it when you're trying to get into your electrical and looking at your pumps. Something unique about this boat is the bow. I've been told by the manufacturer that this bow style is called a vertical stem. Essentially what we're doing here is bringing that wetted surface forward, and when combined with trim tabs, the boat runs like a much larger boat. All right guys, gonna walk you through my Hughes 18 Redfisher. Quick disclaimer, this is a 2019 model, so the newer version is a little different, but the hull is pretty much the same. Starting in the bow, we have a Minn Kota Terrova 24-volt trolling motor. This is the manual deploy system, but it still works great, and you're never gonna run into problems where the deployment system is not working. Taking a step back, we have the main storage on the bow of the boat. This is pretty much where we're putting all of our dive gear, beach floats, basically large items that can still get wet. That's pretty much the bow of the boat. Under the gunnels of each boat, I have enough storage for about 4 rods per side, which is really convenient. I love how wide the gunnels are, which makes it easy to walk along the side of the boat. And I have this 35 quart angle cooler. This cooler works as the main front seat of the boat as well. Just like the Tarpon, I have easy access to the center of my center console by removing this front hatch. On the sides of the center console, I have 3 rod holders as well, so there's plenty of rod storage on this boat. Coming back, main bench seat and the center console. I have a 9-inch Garmin along with a small windshield, which is just enough to get tucked up behind when you're going through some rain or if it's really rough. Other than that, the center console is pretty basic, pretty straightforward. One of the things I dislike about the Hughes is how you get to your main dry storage. Basically, you have to fold up this seat and then you can lift it up. But then because the backrest isn't removable, you really can't open it all that much. But the good thing about this hatch is it's towards the back of the boat, so if you're running in chop all of your dry goods, and I have a lot of camera gear, it's not getting beat up as if it were in front of the boat. Behind this bench seat, we have the live well and then 2 storage areas. This one's actually plumbed as a release well. I use it as a live well. And the other side is where we have the pump for our power pole, and it's where I typically keep my cast net and the net for the live well. Something different from the Tarpon is this poling platform. And this isn't great just for poling, but it's also just a great platform for if you're cutting up bait or just a place to sit down. Underneath me here is this Yamaha 150 Show. This motor is perfect for this Hughes. I see top ends around 52 miles an hour, and going 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour, I'm still getting close to 6 miles per gallon. Super economical and overall just very good fit for this boat.
Overall, if I was in the market to buy one of these boats new, I would be taking a really close look at the Tarpon. The foam-filled hull and the unique hull design really made a difference when we had this boat offshore, and I'm a big fan of the personalization possible when working directly with the manufacturer. On the other hand, my Hughes 18 Redfisher is tried and true, backed by a brand that has been around longer than I've been alive, and the name recognition may be beneficial if I ever go to sell the boat. At the end of the day, when choosing between custom and production boats, I would take both models out for a sea trial and make your decision based on your own personal preferences. You may be surprised that the custom boats provide a better value, at a very comparable price to a new production model. For more boat comparison videos, take a look at these 2 videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.